Welcome back to the Royal Wave channel. I am the Royal Wave in Kingdom 423, and we just lost versus KVK. Now, it always sucks when you lose. I mean, this is our first time losing to KVK. The other two times we were dominated the other kingdoms, so it was pretty harsh for us to lose. But I don't really think the matchup was fair. They had over 20 C40s with over 500 million power. And let me just show you what our big, strongest castle is, or biggest castle is, in our kingdom. That would be, I think it's a C38. No, it's a C40. So this guy right here is the only guy with a C40, and well, his power's way low, but it was over 400 or close to 400. I think it was over 400. This guy, yeah, was close to 5, or was at 500 million. By the time we started KVK, and then it's just kind of goes downhill from there. We were no match for either of the two kingdoms. It was a bloodbath, but I wanted to get my point, so there wasn't really use for a meat shield because nothing we could attack would die, So let's see if I don't have a report to show you. I was so fed up after attacking, or after joining rallies with my other two C30s, that I literally went solo to one of the kingdoms and got zeroed. Is this it right here? No, I think it's the last. Oh yeah, this is it. All right, no airship. I poured into the forest, thinking, unwisely that, by the time people figured out I was there and figured out that I had so many troops, I would have already taken a tower, which would have opened the door to for our guys to come in and help me with that, right? I was kind of like, I was going to be like that spy to get the first one in, open the door for everyone. But before I even reached the tower, and I didn't even see the guy. The game was lagging so much that I was almost at 2 seconds away from hitting the tower in their kingdom, and then it says your castle has been rebuilt, or ported back to your kingdom. But and then my game, the game restarted, it crashed. So anyway, long story short, I got zeroed with one. I think the guy was a C38 or C40. No, it was a C38. But you can see the damage, right? Well, look at his stats. I mean, granted, my airship wasn't in my estate, but even with that, I really don't think it would have made much of a difference. Plus, after the first video that I made, I was talking about being aware of your surroundings, right, and your preparation. And yet here I am. If you look at my 4th guard under no airship on my side, you'll see I have a farming guy or production guy instead of the other combat guy. So I messed up there. I don't think I'm a bust for it. It was more like a hot-headed move. It was like a, I'm so mad, let's see what I can do. It was my first real time, having the door open and using all my troops. So I risked, I took a big risk, and, I've been lucky lately, and I kind of pushed my luck and was stupid, and I got zeroed. As you can see, the difference is, I guess it's not that bad. If you look at, I mean, obviously it's like, 200-300 points above me, but my airship wasn't here, and my guard wasn't there. So who knows? And I don't think all my stats were on. So regardless, I got zeroed because 1, I was careless. 2, I was foolish enough to think that I was even had a remote chance to touch them. But anyway, that's really how it went throughout the whole KVK. I wouldn't be surprised if we lost over 1 billion troops as a kingdom, probably more. This is only my, was it third KE? So I'm not sure what the average amount of loss of troops are for a regular kingdom, but I do know that there was no one except for maybe 1 or 2 that were able to win a battle. I'm sure more did on smaller scales, but we had no chance. It was like, well, you either want points, or you want to, points to get the rewards for the event, or you want to save your troops, and I wanted to, I didn't really waste them, but I did know that I wasn't going to win, but I still did it so I could get the rewards. So I'm not saying waste your troops so you can get the rewards. But I knew that with my funding and the way I play the game and how I spend my money on the game, and with all the resources that I had in preparation for KVK, I knew that I could um, waste a couple marches to get the rewards, because the rewards, they're not very easy to come by. So anyway, long story short, it was a rough day for me, and for a lot of us. So, and then worst comes to worst, my all my data on my SIM card, or the SD card on my phone, got wiped. So this was supposed to be long, lavish. I worked on it for hours, video, but all that was left was a short clip, 5-minute clip. So I'm going to show you a 5-minute clip of the KE. It's not very exciting. You will see me looking at my reports a lot. The thing is, it looks like I'm using I'm constantly looking at my reports, right, in the video, but I knew the surrounding, I knew the people in the kingdom, and as being fourth strongest in the whole kingdom, I knew I had a little leeway and knew that I could risk looking at my reports more often than normal, because believe it or not, this is actually the first KE that no one has ever attacked me. They scouted me, obviously, to want to annoy me too, to get my info. But anyway, that was one thing that I would recommend not doing, is when you're attacking and you're not one of the top players in the kingdom, and don't constantly be looking at your reports, because it takes 2 seconds for someone to port in, and wipe you out, boom. But you're too busy, in those 2 seconds that you use to look at your report, by the time you exit out, you're already hit, So what I would do is, if you're a C26, around that area, or in the top, if you're in the top 40% or even 30% of the kingdom, literally go in, hit what you can win, or most likely win, obviously scout, but try to keep your screen clear so you can see anything and anyone, because some players like to port off screen, so this guy would port right here, boom, while I'm over here, busy doing whatever, attacking RAM, and he just speeds hit me. He lands here where I don't see him, and he uses, I don't know, 20-30 speed ups and half a second. Because the game lags so much, all I see is my castle on fire. But so I would caution against having a cluttered screen when you're actually battling. There was a lot of anger towards the hive, or the alliance that I chose to present in the video, because one, I wiped them out before in several other KEs with just one of my castles. So I knew that this would not be a hard task while I was doing the video. So anyway, I hope you enjoy. I know I talk a lot. Leave any comments or questions or anything like that below. Please like, subscribe, and enjoy the show.